Welcome to another episode of Street Level Marketing. I'm your host, Mark Lamplu. And today's episode is a nostalgic but powerful look back and ahead, really, at automotive marketing. My guest, Graham Scott, is a marketing fanatic whose career spans more than 30 years of dealership evolution. From print ads to programmatic media, Graham has done it all, and his passion is client success. We'll begin by rewinding to a time before Google, before smartphones, even before social media, to an era when TV, newspaper, and community events ruled the dealership lots. Graham, what were the go-to advertising channels for dealers back in the 90s?
Firstly, hello, Mark, and thank you for having me on. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for
Back then, we focused on newspapers. Small dealership groups of four or five dealers would often have $1 million contract a year
yeah,
with one local newspaper. It was radio, it was cable TV, and it was direct mail. We also did a few, on-site events to try and bring traffic in. But in those days, it was all about the ideas.
hmm
Creativity was everything, and obviously it's still a part of it, but there's a lot of other stuff that's been added since then.
yeah. I mean, I can remember, back when I was growing up, because I'm an '80s kid, and I started driving in the '90s. But every Sunday, a newspaper was about this thick,
Oh yeah,
and there was a
yeah,
section in there about this thick of all the dealership,
yep.
ads for the week, and payments in there and everything.
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah.
A really big part.
Can you share a standout campaign or tactic that really worked well back then?
Yeah, like I said, we used to do these really big events,
Uh-huh.
and the group that's now the Tim Rand Auto Group was then the Gosh Auto Group. That we had a giant used car tent sale
Hmm.
at a local college. It was a 5-day event. Um, everybody's used cars. We sold a car a day for 19.99, and the hook was we had the owner suspended by a crane, probably 100 foot in the air. He was in a commercial van, and the hook was he wasn't coming down until we'd sold X number of cars. So the location was near a freeway. So he would get out, he would lean out the van, he'd wave to everybody. And the amount of traffic that brought, physical people coming, was incredible. Really big success. But we obviously haven't hung any owners up in the air for the last few years.
How did the dealers measure success without like the digital analytics that we have today?
How many cars did you sell? How many cars did you sell? How many ROs did you write?
Yeah.
That was it. And how many people were in the store this weekend? You know,
Yeah.
everything was subjective.
You'd have your up sheet
That's
and
right, right. If the up sheet was low, it was your fault. And why didn't you get too many people in? And it was all about getting people in the show.
yeah. So what was the role with the traditional media and newspaper?
It was massive.
hmm
I mean, uh, Cable TV. I remember that in those days, the Larry King show was really popular. So we always made sure that in our schedules we ran on that show. And I think it was also ESPN that was a really popular channel. But yeah, we spent a lot of money on cable, um, cable newspapers, and direct mail is where we spent the money on. That was what we had.
How important was the community-based marketing and the grassroots? Did they have a guy on the ground? Did they have a set amount of events that they would try to go to a month?
Not as much as we do now,
Mhm.
simply because, we obviously were very friendly with the local community and sponsored the schools and the baseball teams. But when we did that, there was also really little opportunity to share that we were doing that. I mean, now we do it a lot. We have the benefits of social media. So we're able to almost instantly share what we're doing. We didn't have that opportunity in the 90s. So we still did them, but they weren't a major part of any strategy.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays you can create an event in a weekend. You know, back then, if you wanted to have an event, you would have to plan it out months ahead of
Oh,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, run
yeah,
your ads for a particular amount of time, and it really took a lot of planning.
yeah. It did. As you say, not like now where we can put them together a lot easier.
When did you first hear the murmurs of the digital creeping into automotive?
Um, that would have been the late 90s. And I
Okay.
remember the first website that I kind of got involved in was for the Cerritos Auto Square. They were the first clients who said, "Oh, what's about this website thing? We need to be there." And I remember the first website was $200,000, and that would have been 99, maybe '01. It was 200 grand,
Wow.
and probably did nothing, just a bunch of pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can remember. I don't know what year Craigslist came out, but that would probably have to been the early to mid 2000s.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, and there was another sheet that we used to use then. I can't remember the name of it, but and then we would do those stuffers, those envelope, the envelopes that come with about 1,000 different coupons in.
yeah,
We would do that, but that never really brought us much.
they used to. I know. I used to sell cars for Saturn back in the early 2000s, and we had a GM. Yeah, he was really big on making sure every car antenna had a balloon tied to it. And he would come in and he would get mad if 2 cars in a row would have red balloons, like, you had to make sure there was different color coordinations with the balloons, and yeah,
Oh, and have the Dancing Man.
yeah,
Yeah, that was very popular in the 90s. Unfortunately, I still see them now
yeah.
at some dealerships. But yeah, the Dancing Man was a big one.
What was the customer buying journey like without the internet?
A lot simpler.
Yeah,
Basically, they saw one of our ads and they walked into the dealership.
yeah,
Um, a typical buyer then would physically go to 5 different dealerships. Load the kids up in the car on a Saturday, and they would hit on average 5. So that's how it was. They saw us in the newspaper or saw us on the TV, and then they would literally drive around their 5 favorites, and then pick a store. Not
mhm.
like now, where basically they visit one store because they've done all the other shopping online.
I just gonna say that I remember being a kid and that, going with my dad, me and my sister would, hop in the car, we'd go to Murphy Ford, and we would literally, it seemed like we were there for days. I mean, you
Yeah,
would be there all day, and then you would have to come back the next day and,
yeah, it was a very physical buying experience. You were there in person for pretty much all of it.
how did the brand loyalty and local trust factor into the strategy back then?
Well, it was always in the back of your mind because the last thing you wanted to do. This was your community, and these were guys whose maybe grandfathers, fathers, and now them all buying from the same place. So it was in our minds, but we didn't have with reviews, for example, we didn't have the ability to post or share reviews. So we did it really to solely to keep our local customer base happy, and saw that we were involved with the community.
Yeah, that's true, and thinking about that, back then, you didn't have online reviews, so most of
No,
the your bad, I guess, customer experiences were shared by word of mouth, so, it would probably you didn't have that instant, where you had to really dealerships back then probably really didn't have to focus on, the customer experience as much as they do now because now you make somebody mad, they're going right to Google and leaving you a bad
no,
review.
no, that's absolutely right. I mean, you get a customer who's upset for whatever reason. I've seen some where they'll immediately go and post on every platform that there is, be our Facebook page, be our Instagram, be on the website, be on social media, all the same bad reviews.
Yeah,
So yeah, we have to pay a lot more attention now simply because they're all visible to a lot of people. Luckily, if you focus on and you get a decent reputation score, far better nowadays, I think, to have a 4.7, 4.8 is kind of the ideal review number because nobody believes that a dealership that deals with so many people, so many different circumstances, is going to be a 5 star
hmm,
every time. That's impossible.
yeah,
So if I see a whole bunch of 5 stars, I get very suspicious. I see
yeah,
a 4.7 or 4.8. That's a good, solid review number that's believable.
yeah. Well, we're out of time for this segment, but when we come back, we're going to start diving a little bit more to the automotive marketing. So we'll be back with a word from our sponsors.